I married someone that was so wonderful and that is so wonderful, and that we had that time and that we grew together and just all the things.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I am back again with another video. So I actually ended up watching the Club Shay Shay interview with Meagan Good. And in the interview, Shannon Sharpe did ask Meagan Good questions pertaining to her divorce. Now, what I thought was very interesting was not only the way in which she spoke about her true emotions and her honesty of what she went through, but also the ways in which she spoke about her ex-husband. So I wanted to touch on this, especially on the coattails of everything that has gone on, has been going on social media or in interviews with Tia Mowry and the way in which she handled divorce. It's just kind of coincidental that Meagan Good is in a movie with Tia Mowry's ex-husband about divorce, I believe. And it was just very interesting to hear Meagan Good's perspective and how contrary it was to a lot of the things that we've heard and we've seen Tia do a lot on social media. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. I'm going to go ahead and insert a couple clips, and then after every couple of segments of clips, I'm going to give you guys my feelings, my thoughts, my opinions on what was spoken about.
Going through the divorce, that shook me to my core. I try to do everything to the best of my ability, and know I didn't do everything perfect, but I don't know that I could have done anything different, if I'm being honest. My greatest fear was for my husband to leave me after 10 years of marriage, the way that my dad and my mom separated, and that's exactly what happened.
What I loved about this segment, this one portion of the conversation in regards to her divorce, was the fact that she led with being completely honest. Okay, the reason why that stuck out to me so much is because there's so many women. We've seen it again, time and time again, with the cases of like the Tia Mowry. Not to try to put women against each other or anything in that capacity, but just showing women the vast differences of how you can react in certain situations. Yes, there might have been two very different reasons as to why both of these couples got divorced. Yes, these are two very different personality traits, but it's very important for women to see two ends of the same exact situation. She started off by saying, the divorce shook her to her core. That was her biggest fear. She did not want a situation where her and her husband were not going to be together. She even went as far to say that she did not want to end up like how her mother was, where her husband left her after 10 years of marriage. And that's exactly what she said that she endured. So to me, it was so vital and important that she talked about and stressed, she did not make it seem like it was glamour. Right? She was like, oh, it's not a big deal. Yeah, everything is fine. I loved it. I didn't go through anything. I wasn't hurt. I didn't feel any pain. I just grew through it and I was just ready to blossom and evolve. Like, no, she was like, no, I was hurt. I was a mess. I was a wreck. It was awful. It was something that I did not want to happen. It's something that, I wasn't happy about. I was broken in that time, because a lot of women need to see whenever they, leave their marriages because the quote unquote spark is gone, or because, things weren't quote unquote working out, or the relationship is, at its peak, or, they want to go back out to the streets, or they feel like they've graduated. A lot of women have to understand that very, very heavy part of the fact that it will shake you to your core. It's not all glitz and glamour. It's not all party and dancing, doing TikTok dances on social media. It can get very real. So I love that she even, right out the gate just started by saying that. I love that.
At the time, I was so mad at Devon, but now I think what he did was very brave. But we're still friends. And as he said, the love is, transitioned into something else, but it's still love.
Now, this was the part that really got me, because, starting off with women being able to step out, talking about they graduated, going back to the streets, so excited to date and how fun and how exhilarating, the whole process of the divorce actually is. This was like the next tip of the iceberg that a lot of women have to understand. She did say, she was very blatantly clear. She said, I was mad. Okay, I was mad at him when the whole thing when we first broke up. I was upset. I was upset that my fairy tale was over. I was upset that the marriage was ending. I was angry with him. However, through growth, I realized that what he did was actually brave. Going against all odds, standing firm in what he believed in. Letting it be known that this is not what he wanted to do, and not because of what other people will think or how other people feel am I going to stand in this. I want people to always take note that I always say this thing, right? We know that 100% of the people who get married are not going to make it or be together for the long haul, right? It's not, it doesn't take you being a rocket scientist to be able to figure that out. Everything is not always going to go as planned. However, again, a lot of women have to understand that not because the relationship did not work out in the way in which you thought it was supposed to work out means that you were supposed to go on social media, bash, shame, insult, humiliate the person in which you were in a relationship with. A lot of women believe that because you and that person are no longer together, that person automatically equals the enemy. She was very clear in what she said. She said, you know what? Like, you know, we were together. We loved each other. Obviously, we're still cool. I was mad at him at first, but I understand. You see, the mindset of being able to understand the other person's point of view. It is what is going to propel you to assist yourself in your next relationships. The ability to understand, to humble yourself and understand that everything was not always about you and how you feel and what you think and what you want to do. When you have that mindset and your understanding of the other person's point of view, you are able to then process things effectively, deal with the reality of the situation, and then move on forward. Hence why we see the likes of Tia, just using these women as examples. Okay, again, I don't know, you know, if the reasons in which both of them actually got divorced or whatever the case is, but just based off of what we're seeing, okay, there's a contrary difference. One person said, yeah, I was mad. I was upset. I was hurt. I was angry. I wasn't feeling it. But then being introspective and then understanding that other person's point of view, I get why he did that. And I respect him for that. I don't have any animosity towards him or the situation. It didn't work out. Cool. I'm not going to tarnish this man's name or his character just because things didn't go the way that I wanted it to go. We see one doing all the TikTok dances, you know, talking about they going on this date, that date, this date. They for the streets, they in their whole phase.
I'm ashamed to say it. I'm in my hoe phase right now. Happiness over everything.
You know, we see one person doing that, and then we see another person who's actually in another relationship. Whether people agree with the relationship, like the relationship for her, would have picked her for him, whatever the case is, we see why she was able to get into a new relationship and why the other person's out there struggling.
It got worse, but I feel like it's about to get worse.
Because a lot of women don't understand that the anger and the animosity that you harbor, your inability to be humble in the situation, and the fact that you are tapping into your ego and feeding your ego out after the breakup and not really doing anything that's problem solving, it is what is going to keep you bound and keep you single. Because obviously you're not learning, you didn't learn the lesson. I also want to say this, you know, I strongly believe that there's some women who learn the lesson of how to understand a man or how to respect men or how to take heed to when a man is telling you the things that he likes, he does not like, or he desires. And unfortunately, it's after the relationship is over. Unfortunately, that's just the truth. Some women are able to hone in and you know, put on their big girl panties and grab it by the reins and be like, yes, I'm going to stick with it. whatever he tells me, if it might be something that might hurt my feelings, or whatever I have to do to humble myself to maintain and keep my relationship long lasting, I'm going to do it. However, there are women who have to not be with that man that they desperately wanted to be with to learn. What's interesting, though, is that you have some women who get out of that relationship that they desperately wanted to be with, and they don't learn. They continue the same things, again, because of the inability to humble themselves and their issues with feeding their ego and going with the, sisterhood, and let the sisterhood lie to them. So it prohibits them from doing the actual factual work. What were your faults in the relationship? Why did the relationship end on your end? What was it that you were doing? What wrongs did you have that you brought to the relationship? What role did you play? A lot of these women act like they do nothing. Oh, no, it wasn't me. It was all him. He couldn't meet my needs. He couldn't make me happy. He didn't buy me flowers. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. But if we really get to digging, no one can make you happy. You can't even make yourself happy. He didn't do because you're disrespectful. Like, if we get to digging, hence why I have these conversations, to shine that mirror back. I get so many messages on social media, on my Instagram to be exact, where there's women who say, girl, I was messing up my relationship. He was halfway out the door. I was tripping. I didn't have anybody shining a mirror showing me that, hey, I better check myself or I wreck myself, because this is a good man that I'm with. And everywhere I look, I always hear people talking about, the woman is the prize and the woman can do nothing wrong. And, we don't have any faults. And I did not look into myself until I heard the things that you're talking about, and it made me understand, man, yeah, I'm tripping. Let me fix it.
Did you feel like a failure?
No, I feel like we had almost 10 successful years of marriage. I feel like I got so much from it that has made me better and has helped me grow. And I feel that he feels the same way.
So this is exactly what I was talking about. Okay, this portion is exactly what I was talking about, right? Because she's clearly stating, like, hey, yeah, we were in this situation, we were in it to win it. And, he asked her, did you ever feel like a failure after your relationship ended? And again, you can see like a slight similarity in the way in which they are articulating their divorce, right? Tia Mowry said that she felt like it was a graduation, and that she graduated from her marriage, and that she graduated from her marriage, and that her marriage was a success, even though it ended in divorce. So Meagan Good, in the way in which she's articulating herself at this point, is very much along those same lines. However, interestingly enough, the way in which Meagan is articulating herself, you could see why she would say something in a certain capacity. And the reason is because she has learned the lesson. She learned the lesson. Also vastly different based off of the communication, and the picture that Meagan is painting. He left her. She said, that there was no reason that she would have ever gotten a divorce.
I was like, but this, you say forever, it means forever. I think that part is the part that I struggle with the most, because I would have never gotten a divorce under any circumstances.
In her mind, that was it. When you're in it to win it, and that is it. It did not work out that way, but she had all her eggs in the basket. Now, that doesn't mean that, she was without fault, because sometimes people have all their eggs in the basket and they be in it to win it, and then they still disrespect you. They still doing foolishness. They still rude. I'm just using those things for example. But she's saying that she gave everything, and being in the relationship, she looks at this man. She still has respect for him. She understands his point of view. Maybe she had a lot of things that she was tripping on and she needed to work on. And she's like, yeah, I did the work. I get it. The fact that she said that she was really angry at Devon, you know, in my opinion, would mean that, yeah, in the beginning, she did feel like she failed. However, after, you know, going through the work, understanding the faults that she had to play, you know, also understanding his point of view, it's like, you know what? No, I don't feel that way, because I understand now way more things that I would have never understood before. And again, that's the same factor that I'm saying, where a lot of women sometimes, unfortunately, they have to leave to learn. Some women have to miss out on the guy that was, like, you know, chef's kiss perfect for them to understand a man's point of view. And hopefully, if they do, as you know, much introspective work, they can get it right and at least end up in a different relationship. They could bounce back. Nobody's perfect. People always have to learn and grow and try and evolve. The best situation in this case was that Meagan Good and her ex-husband did not have children together. So yes, the union separated, but the family structure was not broken.
And every time I'm revealed a lot more, I'm just really in gratitude and thankful that I married someone that was so wonderful and that is so wonderful, and that we had that time and that we grew together and just all the things. And so I don't believe that anything's in vain.
This woman said, I'm so grateful that I was married to that man who was so wonderful and is so wonderful. This woman said, we were together for all those years. The relationship didn't work out. I still have love for this person. I still respect for this person. I have nothing negative to say about this person, because he was a great guy and is a great guy. Another thing that really got me was when she said that if you're in a relationship and you can work it out, you should.
Would you have felt this way had you not grown through that? About not necessarily like being married.
Oh no, I think that still would have been like, no, you get married, it says the word, y'all better work it out, you better figure it out, you better do something.
Okay.
And I think if you can, you should.
Right.
You see, this is the stuff I'm talking about. When I say vast difference, you have one situation where one woman is like, oh yes, you know, they talk about how I'm so brave and I'm doing the things that they wish that they could do. And they had, you know, these women, they come in my Instagram and they admire my strength. You have one woman on that side saying that, and again, glamorizing the divorce.
That I have gotten from so many women that are going through the same thing and just saying how they admire my courage and my strength.
And then you have another perspective of the same kind of coin, where this woman is saying, you know, yes, the situation did happen, but I still have respect for this person. I still have honor for this person. He's an amazing person. I understand more things now than I did at that time. I understand his point of view. I respect his point of view. And I stand for marriage still. So if you yourself are in a marriage and you can work things out, that's what you should do. Not just because this situation didn't go, you know, how it's supposed to go, means that you are now supposed to follow my footsteps and join my train because I'm making being single look so good. That's what women need to hear. Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. It was, you know, whatever. It didn't work out, but you know, I still believe in marriage, and at the same time, I still believe that if you're in it, that you can work it out, you should. That's what you should do, because that's your husband, and I honor marriage, and I still believe that even though this situation did not work out, that you should still try to put your best foot forward. Think about that. Not because, you know, we always hear commentary like, oh yeah, you know, two things can be true at the same time. And that's so true. The truth is that, you know, the relationship that she had did not work out. However, she still stands for marriage. She's still with it. She still agrees that if you're in it and you can fight for it, that's what you should do. There's some women who, just because their relationship didn't work out, they think that everybody's relationship don't have to work out. Oh yeah, girl, if he make you mad, you should just leave. Oh yeah, girl, you know, it's fun out here in these streets. Oh yeah, girl, it's so glamorous out here trying to learn how to date and try to figure things out. Oh yeah, girl, these men are beneath us. I never been as free when I was in my marriage like I am now when I'm single. Y'all need to leave y'all husbands and join me. Drastic differences, vast differences, however important differences. I love the honesty. I love that she spoke the truth. I love that she was honest about her feelings. I love that she was telling other women, yeah, I was so upset. I was angry. I did not want that to happen. I did not want the marriage to end. No. I also love that she spoke about this man with such high esteem and high regard. She didn't have to trash him to get her point across. She didn't have to bash him to get her point across. She didn't have to place blame on him as to why the relationship ended to get her point across. She didn't have to do that. She spoke honestly and truthfully without placing blame and talking about herself and what she had to do and how she had to evolve. And again, hence why, again, whether people agree, don't agree, like it, don't like it, hence why she was able to positively transition into a new relationship. Because we don't see no track record of you on social media talking about your man and dragging him for filth and dissing him and disrespecting him. I liked it. Okay, I like what she had to say. And again, this is just the truth that not everything is going to work out. Not every single relationship is going to work out. And in this factor, you know, she did not have children with her ex-husband. So it's similar to like a relationship, right? Where a man and a woman are dating and they don't have like a family, like a family unit together, that nobody's pregnant, they don't have any children. And, you know, not every relationship that comes together means that these people are going to work out or, you know, make it through the long haul. However, this is the way that you can effectively dismiss yourself. The reason why, I'm going to say it again, the reason why Ashanti and Nelly are married right now is because when they broke up, there was nowhere that we could find of her going on any tangent, disparaging his name, disrespecting him, or talking about him. None. We can't find it. Why? Because she wasn't doing it. Some women they wish they could spin the block and be with their, you know, ex or the whoever the case is, and they can't because they've sown so many seeds of negativity and disrespect and disregard and again disparaging comments just to get likes or whatever it is on social media to fan their own flame and feed their ego. They didn't have an ounce of humility to say, you know what, let me take a step back and work on me and look at me. It sounds like that's what she did. That's what it sounds like. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.